Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I am going to walk you through Linux permissions. I have seen this take down production systems because a single misconfigured file permission can either expose your secrets to the entire world or break your application deployment entirely. And you know why this matters. Because at the scale of thousands of containers, manual permission management is a recipe for disaster. Let's dive into the core of how Linux manages who can read, write, and execute your data. This is foundational knowledge for every engineer. Specifically, that includes why things break without proper control, the UGO and octal systems, internal file system mechanics, production-grade configuration, and avoiding common pitfalls. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video, so do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. If you are interested in deep dive Linux fundamentals, we already have a full course on this channel, which I have linked in the description. Subscribe to our channel for regular practical IT tutorials and join our WhatsApp community to stay connected. And please do hype the video. That really encourages me to upload more content. So why does this actually matter? Imagine a scenario where your web server is running as a non-privileged user, but your database config file is owned by root with read, only permissions for everyone. Your application will fail to start. Or worse, consider a world writable directory where any user can replace your binary with a malicious script. That is exactly the problem we are solving today. What are Linux permissions really? They are a set of rows attached to every file and directory. Think of your server like a corporate office building. The owner has a master key. Their team has secondary keys for shared areas, and everyone else, the general public, only gets access to the lobby. That is the UGO model: user, group, and others. Before we start, ensure you are running a standard Linux distribution like Ubuntu or Red Hat Linux. You need a terminal open and sudo access, as we will be modifying system file permissions. If you are on Windows, ensure you are using WSL2. You should already be comfortable with basic commands like list and change directory. Specifically, that includes a Linux distribution like Ubuntu 22.04 or Red Hat Linux 9, a user account with sudo privileges to test changes, and the ls and chmod commands available in your path. How does this actually work internally? The Linux kernel does not look at the file name. It looks at the inode. The inode contains a metadata block storing the owner, group, and the mode. When you run a command, the kernel checks your user ID and group ID against that inode. If they match the criteria, it returns a file descriptor. If not, it throws an error. On line 1, we list the details of a system log. On line 2, we use chmod to set the mode to 644. Finally, line 3 changes the owner of that file to a specific user and group. This is the baseline of Linux access control. Notice the output. The dash at the start indicates it is a regular file. The following RW dash means the owner can read and write. The R dash dash means the group and others can only read. What is octal notation? It is a math trick. 4 represents read, 2 represents write, and 1 represents execute. If you sum them, you get the permission value. So 7 is everything. 5 is read and execute. The resulting string confirms our octal choice. The owner has all rights. The group and others can only read and execute the script. In production, you never use 777. For a sensitive config file, use 600. This ensures only the application service user can read the secret and no one else, not even the group, can touch it. This is the ideal state. No permissions for others. No permissions for the group. Just the owner. If you see this error, it means the execute bit is missing. It is the most common mistake for new engineers. The fix is simple. You just add the +X flag to the file. This tells the kernel that this file is allowed to be executed as a program. Imagine an e-commerce platform. They had a log directory that was world writable. An attacker found a way to write a malicious script into a log file. Because the system was configured poorly, that script ran as the web user. They lost customer data. They fixed it by locking down permissions to 640. Never leave directories world writable. Use 600 for secrets. Use 644 for general data. Use 755 for folders. And please, never use 777. It is a massive security risk that makes your server an easy target. To be precise, that covers use 600 for SSH keys and sensitive configuration files, use 644 for standard application data and logs, use 755 for directories and executable binaries, do not use 777 as a quick fix for permission errors, and do not set world writable permissions on public-facing servers. The Linux kernel manages permissions via inode metadata. Octal notation is the standard for setting these modes. Practice the principle of least privilege everywhere. Use chmod to enforce security, and never ever give world writable access to your production directories. If this video helped you, click on Hype the video and hit subscribe to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community, link in the description. Use the link to join the channel. Thanks for watching. This channel is dedicated to providing knowledgeable content for IT professionals, building their skills in Linux, cloud, DevOps, Python, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Subscribe to stay updated, and I will see you in the next one.